Hello there, people of the internet. So, I'm out here on the range, and I'm going to start off by saying hi, YouTube reviewer. Semi-automatic, not one of those scary machine guns that the politicians are, trying to push you guys to avoid us having. And tiny magazine, only 20 rounds, not a standard capacity. So now that we got that out of the way, I threw some new sights onto this AR. This is my Delton DTI. I had polymer sights on this thing, and I wanted metal ones. So I actually got some aluminum sights, and I tossed it onto this thing, and now I have to zero it. I figure since I'm, spending the ammunition, may as well make a video on how to zero the sights on your rifle. That being said, ammunition is not free, and nothing of what I'm doing here is free. So if you want to support my work, then Patreon and Utreon links are in the description below. That will definitely help me make more content, better content, more often. That said, just judging off of where the old sights were, just rough approximations, I should be pretty close with where I've gotten these sights. So I have these two sights and a new optic on this thing, actually. The old optic was like a dirt cheap optic from eBay, I think it was. So I went ahead and I got this one, also dirt cheap, AIM Sports, but I hear good things about them. So I wanted to go ahead and try them out for myself. That being said, let's go ahead and send some rounds downrange. I want to see where this thing's hitting. I have a cardboard box out there that I'm going to be using as my target. Let me make sure there's nothing alive in these first. Cardboard box out there I'll be using as my target so I can see where my rounds are impacting. So, whenever it comes to zeroing your rifle, whatever direction you're wanting the bullet to go, your rear sight, if it can be, adjusted for windage or elevation, you want to put that in the same direction. So if you want your projectile to raise in height, you would raise your rear sight. If you want your projectile to lower in height, you would lower your rear sight. If you want your windage to be more left or right, you would move your rear sight to the left or right. However, your front sight, you would do the opposite for all of that. If you want your projectile to get higher, then you would lower your elevation. If you want your projectile to hit lower, you would raise your rear sight up. You would increase your elevation, vice versa with windage. It's a pretty simple setup. And whenever people are confused about this, I'm like, all right, hold your rifle, aim down your sight, and take note on where the bullet is hitting. Like if you're hitting low, and you want your rear sight, or you want the bullet to hit higher, raise the barrel of your gun up to where it would hit higher, and you will see your front post on your front sight raise or lower, depending on what direction it is, where you're wanting your bullet to go. But wherever it is that you're wanting it to go, raise or move the barrel of that gun in that direction, and you'll be able to see how you need to adjust your sights accordingly. Now that's not going to give you a zero, that's just going to tell you what direction to move those sights. Speaking of zero, let's go ahead, put a round downrange, a round or two, and see where these rounds are hitting, because I have not tried firing this thing yet. Well, I've shot this rifle plenty. I have not tried checking the zero with this yet. Okay, 2 shots downrange. Let me walk down there and see what that looks like. Hell, that's pretty much right where I want it. Okay, so that's a really good sign. That means that I have done an excellent job configuring these sights, but this is only at like 35 yards or so. So I'm actually going to step out to a further distance. I don't have my camera stand with me. So you guys are just going to have to hang out right here. You're going to hear some gunfire in the distance, and then I'll walk back over here and I'll check on my target. I know, exciting content, right? So I will be right back. You guys hang out right here. I'm stepping out to about 60 yards or so, and I'll put 2 rounds downrange. And I mean, those 2 rounds I just fired, those were good shots. Let's see where these ones hit. Okay. Here we go, walking over here again. Let's see what we're dealing with here. All right, see, out at a farther distance, I'm hitting significantly high. So I will need to raise my front sight since my rear sight cannot be adjusted for elevation. So I raise my front sight to adjust for that elevation, and that should give me the 0 that I am looking for. Now the further you go out, the bigger of a difference that change is going to make. Like for example, here at 35 yards, I was, you know, nailing right on my target. But go out a little further to where things are, your adjustments are more delicate due to the distance. Go out a little further and you're going to see a much more significant spread. Like for example, if you're hitting 3 inches high at 50 yards, then you should hit roughly 6 inches high at 100 yards. Assuming you're not using like 38 special, because that'll just, you know, go up and dip back down. There's a lot that goes into ballistics. All right, so with this front sight, there's no way to really tell exact points of adjustment. Like on scopes and whatnot, you have, you know, 1 click for a 1/4 inch at 100 yards or something like that. This did not come with any kind of dimensions like that, so I just kind of moved the rear sight up, and we're gonna see how far that went and if it needs to go back down, or we're gonna see what's going on with that. So I'm gonna walk back out to 60 yards and put more rounds down range, and we'll see the results of that. All right, going back out. You guys stay there. I'll let you know the results, I promise. All right, I have adjusted a little too far, so I will go back the other way, and it looks like I have to adjust my windage as well. And I will show you guys exactly what I got going on here. Okay, so first 2 shots at 35 yards, that's these right here. This was already there, ignore it completely. Went out to 60 yards. The next 2 shots were these 2 right here. And as you can see, they're a little high and a little right. So I adjusted elevation, and I adjusted a little too far. And I'm about the same distance low, but we are still hitting to the right. So the windage definitely needs adjusted as well. So I will adjust slightly, bring us to the left a little bit, and I will kind of go in between of my adjustments of what I've just done. I went ahead and I did some adjusting off screen because, you know, making a video of me running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, not really that ideal. So I did manage to get it right where I wanted. I got my elevation set. It was literally like right at the halfway point of the elevation that I had originally set. And that makes sense because we were about, you know, equal parts high and low. So halfway point is what we were looking for. And the windage, yeah, that didn't take much at all. I'm not sure how much a click of windage on this thing is worth, but we will assume that it's 1/4 MOA, and I was at about 60 yards, so 1 turn is going to be about roughly 1/8 of an MOA. Not like it matters with me and this rifle right here. This is, you know, a 2 to 3 MOA rifle. But I went ahead and I put a couple of rounds down range after I made my adjustments, and yeah, I'm smacking the target right where I'm wanting to smack it. So now that my sights are adjusted, my brand new optic right here, turn this on, and what I'll do with this on, actually, yeah, that just needs a very minor amount of adjustment, and maybe lower it a little bit. But whenever I adjust this thing, I'll keep my front and rear sight up now that they're 0 to the rifle. I'll just take my Allen wrench and I'll move my red dot to where it is that I need it to move it to. And that is how I 0 my rifle. This one right here did take a little bit more rounds than usual, but normally I use just 1 round. This time I was using 2 for grouping, I guess, just to ensure that I don't have a flyer. I am trying to base my zeroing off of a flyer because that can be a little on the annoying side. Not only that, but I was out here having fun at the range anyway. So more than 1 round to test your 0. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Hopefully this was insightful to somebody out there. Like, subscribe, share. Description down below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go and go check that out, including Utreon and Patreon if you want to help support my work. That said, you guys go off. Have yourself a fantastic day. I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.